Hello, welcome to episode 173 in the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.2.1.4. We're doing part 2 of data-driven ending credits. So yesterday we had it so... Why did I put that so far away? It would read our credits, and it was all in white. So today I've added a little bit of extra, customization. We can have different lines, there we've got different background, different colours, red, light green, dark green. Okay, much nicer. Obviously my sort of example there looked pretty horrible, but now what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to use the bold, the italic, all the extra sort of options and change the background. Okay, not much point waffling because it's pretty clear what we're going to do, so let's get on and build it now. Okay, I have downloaded the pack part 1 and I've installed that, so if I run now we've got the old version coming up where we've got no control. So we're going to be starting off from the last episode, and we're going to make changes. Right. Now, let's go and have a look. The first thing we were doing is we're getting the data, and we've got some text. Okay, so we want to change that. Let's have a look at MC Stacker. If we go over to MC Stacker, here's me summoning a text display. Make sure you get the right version. And I'm just going to copy that command there. Copy that, and we'll take it back and we'll have a little look at it. So let's make a space where we can paste that. Okay. So the only thing I'm really interested in is the text. So we'll get rid of everything but the text. And that looks like how it's displayed. Okay, so we have text and we have open and open. Now you'll see a little bit of difference there. So here we've got our text. Let's go to where we're spawning the entry. Let's grab this little bit we've got here for text. Copy. And let's put that there next to it. Okay. So we're grabbing what's inside here, this line 4. Or in the case here, line 1. And we're doing a replace for the data there. So if I paste this in, okay, now they look exactly the same. Okay, so that's how that's working, but we want to be able to do, bold and colors and stuff like that. So let's go back to MC Stacker and let's do some color. So we've got line 1. Let's set a color. Let's say you can be dark green, and let's set bold to true as well. Now let's copy this. Copy, and let's take that back with us and paste that in. And the only thing we're interested in again is the text bit. So let's get rid of the stuff at the beginning, text, and the last little bits at the end. There we go. So that is now the information we want. So let's look at spawn entry. Well, we've got a little bit of a difference already. This one open and closes with curlies. Okay. So let's copy everything inside these curly brackets. Not the apostrophe at the front and the end. Let's copy that. Copy. And let's put that inside where we've got line. Let's do line 4. We'll put one there. We'll put one there. And we'll put one there. And we'll see that it's not happy. But if we look here, here is using apostrophe at the beginning. And I'm using speech marks. Okay, so let's do a change. Now it's seeming a little bit happier. Okay, and we'll do the same for this one. So that looks all right. Let's just change the text as well. Line 2, line 3. Okay. And what we want is that to go in there. We've got the extra speech marks, which we don't need here. Okay, so let's take those speech marks away. Like that. And do a save. Okay, it looks alright, but, let's test it. Save. Let's do a reload. So I changed, which one did I change? I changed number 1, didn't I? Entry number 1. Let's have a quick look. Yes, entry 0. We might have broken that now. Entry 1, entry 2. Okay, let's try with entry 1, line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay, that's a good start. They certainly look bold. Now, we could go off to MC Stacker again. If we wanted to add italic, let's say italic true. Let's have a look. Okay, we can see in here it's just added the line italic true. Well, we could type that ourselves. Okay. Can we be bold and italic? Let's find out. Italic true. Okay. Let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay, so already, just from that little tiny change, we've got a lot more control. So we could do the same with underlined, and we can see that all we'd have to add is underline true. We could do the same with strike through, and see that all we have to add is the words strike through true. Obfuscated. Obfuscated is such a strange word. And we just had to add obfuscated true. Okay, all that's pretty easy. Background color. Let's do background color next, because that's a bit different. Okay. Let's go back and let's make these all different. So you can be green, you can be dark green, and you can be red. You're not going to be bold, you'll be italic. You're not going to be bold, you're going to be obfuscated. And let's see what we get here. Okay, yep. Okay, that's all working fine. Oh, we can't read it, but never mind. Right. Now, we can also do extra lines of text, just like sort of a tell raw. So instead of having like this, text, hi, my brain is failing, there we go, color green. Okay, so that's okay, but we could also surround that with some square brackets, and inside we'll copy this one and we'll have a comma and put it in again, and we'll have text. Well, we better put a space, hi there, and you can be color gold. Okay, let's copy that. And let's go over the top of one of our other ones. So we want everything inside the apostrophes. Let's put that in. Save that. Reload. Hi, there we go. Okay, so we've got that split. That's nice. So we can have different colors on multiple lines. Cool. And then, as you could probably guess, if you wanted to, the first bit could be bold true, and the second bit could be obfuscated true. Save that. Reload. Run it again. Hi. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like it. Now let's go on to the background. Now probably actually let's do a test. I don't think these ones are going to work anymore because they're not set up right now. So let's find out if these ones still work. Let's try doing 0. Yeah, we've broken those ones. Okay. So we could fix them. Say text, take away that speech mark at the beginning, and there should be one closing at the end. Is that right? One open, one closing. No, we've closed it in the wrong place. Here we will need that. Okay, so there's line 3. Let's copy, put it in for that one, put it in for that one. You become 1, 2, 3. Let's switch you so you're just using the apostrophes. Don't put all those extra speech marks in for me. Thank you very much. And let's save that. Let's go and have a little test to see if we fixed that one. Line 1. Line 2. Line 3. Okay, so we fixed that one now. Okay, cool. Let's do background. We haven't fixed the third entry down here. We'll leave that for now. Okay, so if I want to get the background in there as well, where do I want to put that? Well, I still want it to be inside here, so text. So this opening bracket, open 2 brackets, close the first bracket, so inside at the end there. Let's just call it back. And I'm just going to put 0 for the number for the moment. Let's copy that. Copy, put it into there, and put 1 into there as well. And let's put it here too. Back, back, back. All back 0. Now that's not going to make any difference at the moment because we're not using that data. So we're going to have to go over to get entry. Here we go. Here's where we're grabbing the delay and we're grabbing the text. So that's where we're grabbing the delay and the text. Let's grab the back as well. So I'm just going to copy this. Copy. I'm going to put it in here, make a big space for it, because we're going to play around with it in a minute. And we'll just say, you are now back. Get that from back. Okay, so we've saved back into the same place we saved the text and delay. And if we go to spawn entry, there's our background number. That's what we want to replace. So we'll just replace that with back. I don't know what the background 0 is. Let's find out. Reload. Index. We want to test 1, don't we? Okay, it looks like background just 0 is no background at all. Okay, that's cool. Let's go off to MC Stacker and get ourselves a random background. So here we have shadow color and opacity. I believe that's what we want to change. Let's pick a color. Let's pick a pinky color. Okay. Opacity 255, fully opaque. Now somewhere in here, that's shadow color. That's not our background. See, we've got shadow color there. Oh, so we could add shadow color if we want. Let's do it. Why not? I didn't expect that. I just typed that into the wrong place, but let's try. Let's see what happens. Let's copy shadow color. Let's take it across. And let's put it in. Which one? The second one is bold. Let's just paste it in there. Shadow color. Well, let's see what that does. Reload. Run number 1 again. Oh, okay. There we got a cool shadow on it as well now. Great. That's still not changing my background though, and that's what I want to do. Okay, so back to MC Stacker, and we'll not looking inside the text box anymore. Up here we'll see default background and background. Let's just grab a color for the background. A yellowy sort of color. And here we will now notice we've got background. It is not part of the text component though, so it's not part of this. That's what goes in text. This is separate. Let's copy that number. Copy. Let's take it back with us. And let's paste that background number over all of these. Save. Let's do a reload. Let's run it. Oh, it's awful. It works, but it's awful. We don't care what it looks like. As long as it works, we can pick nicer colors later. Great. So now we can change the background color. But what if I just want default background color? Okay, so let's say for this one, we're not going to have a background color. And we won't have a background color for this one either. We'll just have a background color for that first one. What happens now? Oh, hello, little 3. I see you sitting there. Go away. So what happens now? Question is, will it create a default for itself? No, we've broken it. Now, the reason why we've broken it is because inside our spawn entry, it says, I want to put the back in here. Can I put the back in here? You're going, yeah. And inside our get entry, we are copying back from current credits back. So it's coming into here and it's going, well, you've got no back, so I've got nothing to copy in there. And then that's carrying that onto get entry and says, well, I've got nothing to copy into current entry back. And then that carries on to spawn entry where it goes, but there's nothing in here for me to show. So I think what we'll do is either you can always specify the back every time. So we could just put back 0 every time. But let's do a default. That way, if you don't want to change the background color, you don't have to. Let's do a default. So only line 3 is going to have a background color. Let's come into get entry. And here, let's set up a default. We'll say data modify storage. And actually, ID temp credits current entry back set. All of that set, but we'll say a value. This is going to be our default. Let's just set it to 0 because that seemed to work. And now let's get rid of that one. So they should all have 0 default background. So that was clear, wasn't it? So let's go and do a test. Reload. So that's working again. Cool. They've all got a clear background. Let's just do another little check. Let's go into load. Let's copy this weird background color. And let's set that as the default. Save. Now we should have it looking pretty ugly again now. Yep, now they're all defaulting to that. Great. Okay, well I think the default background should be no background. It should be see-through. So I'm going to set this back to a 0. So if we don't specify a background, it will be 0. On the other hand, if we do specify a background, we want to modify it. But we only want to modify it if it can find that data. So we're going to do execute if data storage ID temp credits dot current entry dot back. Oh no, current credits. The last one in the list dot back. Then we will run. Okay, so what we're doing here. Here you can see where we're getting the delay, and we're getting it from credits, current credits -1, last one in the list. And we do the same for the text. Then we define our default back to 0. But then we have a look. We say, well, if data storage ID temp credits, current credits -1 dot back, if that does exist, if that is here it is. This one, yep, it's there. This one, no. This one, no. So if it does exist, then we'll copy it. And we'll only try and copy it if it exists. So now we should have set up a default. Now check to see if one does exist. If it does, override the default. Okay, let's try that. So we should have line 3 should have the horrible background, and the other 2 lines shouldn't have any background at all. Let's have a little look. A reload. No one has the background. That's very strange. I definitely did a reload. Even my memory surely can't. Okay, what have we done? We've clearly made a mistake somewhere. Look, I see back. It does exist there. Let's go to our get entry. And we'll have a look at this line. If data storage, I see it straight away. Spelling mistake. I've called it creds. Creds. It's credits. So it's looking into ID temp creds, current entry, and it's going, no, there isn't one. So it's not overriding the default. Credits. Current credits back. Now that looks like the only mistake. So let's do a test. Will we see the horrible background, please? There's the horrible background. Cool. So now you've set yourself up one where if you want it, you add it. If you just want the default, don't bother adding it. Let's do another one. Let's grab that. Let's stick it on the end of here. Let's just chuck some random numbers in there and see what that does. I have no idea what this is going to do. You know, it's probably a valid number. It'll probably do something. Oh, yeah, it's kind of weirdy old tomato sauce colour. There we go. Anyway, we've got a lot more control now. We now have access to bold, italic, underlined, strike through, obfuscated, shadow colour. Any of these things you add in here, you can see, we just have to copy them from in there. Font. I have not done a test. Let's do the waffle test. Let's see if we can get a font in there. I can't remember any of the names of the font. Is there one called Minecraft Alt? No, that's the font that's used in the enchanting tables, I think. Font Minecraft Alt. There it is. Let's try it. Why not? You know. Number 2. Let's go in there. Just paste it in. Make sure we get a comma. And let's see. I don't know. Let's see if it changes the font. Yeah, it's used the enchanting table font. Cool. Okay. Unexpected. So, we can now change any part of the text to match what we get from here. Image to text is interesting. I haven't tried that. You can play around with that if you want. And we've also got the background controlled separately there. And you can see there's lots of other things you could change. You could change any of these settings here. All you have to do is add them at the beginning. And then when you come in to get entry, you copy them across. And then when you come into spawn entry, you put them in with the correct data. Cool. Well, we'll leave it there for now, because even this short little episode, I managed to waffle on and stretch it quite a far. So, have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Let's run it one more time. Ooh. The reason why they're always facing me is because Billboard Center, I believe. Cool. Bye-bye.